Hi everyone, Sensei Dan here from the dojo, and we're here with our student VJ. And for part of VJ's PBLT, project-based leadership training, he has some tips for responsible drinking for the upcoming holiday. And what do you got for us?
So, quick intro, I work for a company called TheDOJO. We are the largest manufacturer of spirits, alcoholic spirits. And we start as a distiller, we produce them, we distribute them, we market them. So as a part of being the largest spirit manufacturer in the world, we also advocate responsible drinking, and we also have a corporate responsibility agenda towards supporting causes like MAD, which is Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and teen drinking or avoiding teen drinking and responsible drinking. So as a part of that effort, we have collected some tips for the people who host and go out and drink, particularly in this season around Halloween, Thanksgiving and New Year and Christmas. So I just want to share a couple of tips for the drinkers and a couple of tips for the host who entertain these drinkers and guests.
Excellent. And let's go down the list here. What do you got?
So, I mean, most of these are common sense from a tips perspective. Tips to drinkers, I mean, you go out to have a good time. So make it a night to remember rather than a night to forget. And goes back to your comment about being before, during, and after. So make sure you remember everything before, during, and after. So you don't forget what you did before drinking or after drinking. So that is one of the key tips. Make a night to remember and drink responsibly. And be conscious of how much you drink. The second one is don't just guzzle the drinks. Enjoy it. Savor it. Because alcohol is a form of sugar. And there are a lot of creativity goes into making a spirit and making a cocktail. So sip, savor it, make a conversation around it, and enjoy it. That way your intake of alcohol is slower. And the only way to get undrunk is time. As you all know, there's no shortcuts, there's no there's nothing that's going to take your alcohol out of your blood. The only thing that takes alcohol out of your system is time.
Excellent. And number next.
When you go out for drinking, make sure you eat and hydrate yourself, as alcohol dehydrates everybody, irrespective of their weight. People may think they are big enough to consume large alcohol, but the same way they can dehydrate quicker. So, and as you have mentioned several times, people do not realize the dehydration that happens during the colder months. The body just consumes heat and try to produce this heat, and it dehydrates more. And alcohol adds to the problem. So make sure you hydrate when you go out drinking, and avoid salty foods which dehydrate you further. So have lots of drink, hydrate yourself, and then when you drink, don't drink on your empty stomach, because the alcohol absorption is faster. There's nothing there in your blood to stop the absorption, so it absorbs faster, and that's a recipe for disaster. So have food and then eat light, and then go out for drinking, and make sure you're hydrated well.
Excellent. And does that move us on to tips for hosts, or any more
the
tips for
the last step on the drinker is, if you don't know someone, don't accept a drink from them. Please avoid drinks offered when you're at a party or when you're at a bar. Don't accept any drink offered by someone. Make sure you're watching the bartender while they're making it, and don't accept any drink that is brought to your table without your attention. That would be a tip for women specifically, making sure that as much you know the person, that's how you can trust the drink.
Excellent. And now tips for the host, which I thought was a great thing to add to this. If you're a host for a party or one of these celebrations, you have some ideas for them as well.
Yeah, I mean, people tend to be generous hosts, particularly when it comes to holiday season. They're in a generous mood, but that does not encourage any kind of irresponsible or binge drinking. Right, so if people are asking and coming in for doubles, make sure they come the second time. I mean, serve them in responsible quantities in singles, and if they want to drink more, they can come back and have more to drink. And if you feel that, I mean, in some culture they're obliged to top up. They never want to see a plate empty or a glass half full. They keep topping up, which we strongly advocate against. You shouldn't top up a drink, because if somebody is conscious of their intake of drinks or alcohol, then if you keep topping up, they don't have a measure of how much they're taking in. So that way you ask them to complete a drink and then fill it if they need one more. And provide when you're hosting it, provide alternatives, because people want to skip or move on after drinking or before drinking, so they're very responsible about it. So provide with non-alcoholic drinks, water fountain with lemon, some yummy food. Food always substitute everything else pretty much. If you have yummy food, people will stop, put the glass down, and try to taste it or savor it. So that's one of the tip we always say is have food and have a water fountain with some lemon or something like that, so people will get towards the stop drinking and then go towards water and hydrate themselves. And this is a common sense tip that we do everywhere when we do our corporate events, is find out how they're going to get home. Whether you're by yourself or you're hosting a party, have a way, have that made up even before you start drinking, or even before you get there. So have a designated driver, have a cab number, have somebody shuttle you if it is a larger group. So as a host, you should be even more careful. And you've seen a couple of commercials where the host standing at the door asking for keys and putting it somewhere. So it's a similar concept. It's making sure that we're not letting people outside our home or outside our party who are drunk and then driving. That is we strongly advocate against. So we want them to figure out how they're going to get there. So you can have a flashcard of taxi cab numbers, or if you have a bunch of designated drivers who can carpool a bunch of people, you can have that. If they need a public transportation like a bus or a subway, you can help them do that. So arrange for how you get home. Either you're by yourself going out or you're hosting a party. And
especially if you're going out on your own, make sure you have cash on hand to pay for a taxi.
Very excellent tip. Yes, I mean if you're in a position, particularly in smaller cities or in a suburban town, then most of the taxi cabs may not accept credit cards, and you may not want to risk being drunk and having a wallet on you. Just have very small amount of cash that could take you a shorter cab ride to your home or somewhere close to your home.
Excellent. And so it sounds like with everything here, whether it's the tips for the drinkers or the tips for the host, proper planning prevents poor performance. As you go out on your own, make sure you have your game plan for how you're getting back safely. Know what your what your limit is with your drinks. Be realistic with that. Eat before you go. Tips for the host: having those phone numbers for taxis, knowing train schedules, and having maybe some cash on hand for yourself to help people, and making sure that you're providing those yummy snacks and alternatives for alcoholic beverages as well. It's all about proper planning, preventing poor performance. So sounds like martial arts. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yes.
So it's right in alignment with self-defense that we're always talking about. Well, great. Any other ideas?
And I always educate people to go to drinkiq.com and learn about it, because even though we offer tips, there's a lot more to learn about alcohol consumption, responsible drinking, and even talking educatively about alcohol to teens and young adults. So there's a lot of material in drinkiq.com. It says, as it says, it's IQ, basic common sense, nothing new. So I would strongly advocate audience to go to drinkiq.com and learn more about this.
Excellent. Well, thank you, VJ, for sharing this information. Hope everybody has a fun and safe holiday, whichever holiday comes around. And we'll be posting this video on our website, TheDOJO.org, and also we'll have the website that you can go back to for more tips on safe and responsible drinking. Thank you very much, and I hope this educates someone and helps prevent any negative things happening. Might even save a life from this video here.
Yep.
So
I'll be so glad that the project-based leadership can save a life. That'll be the icing on the cake.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Well, thank you guys. Have a great night and a safe and fun holiday.